People of the internet, welcome back to another video. It is I, Don Thomas, back in here with another one. As always, folks, the likes, the comments, the subscribes are all greatly appreciated. Thank you so much for the support on this channel. Without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into today's topic, folks. Got a video pulled up here. Comes from CNBC. It's entitled, How Sketchy Chemicals Like Red No. 3 End Up in U.S. Food. Of course, guys, I frequently speak on these things from time to time in terms of everything just being fake, everything just not being good for us. The food is contaminated. The water is contaminated. The air is contaminated. Everything's contaminated. And I don't know, as of late, it seems like when I speak on videos like this in particular, they don't do as good. I don't know if that's neither, here or there, but every time I speak on the food in particular, I've noticed on this channel, those videos don't do as good. So let's find out if there's any difference in this one. Nonetheless, let's get into this video. Of course, I'll be sure to share my thoughts. I encourage you guys to share your thoughts down in the comment section below. Let's get into it.
This is Fruit Loops sold in the United States, and this is the same product sold in Canada. At first glance, they look identical, but if you take a look at their ingredients list, you'll notice some key differences. The American version contains several food dyes that don't appear in the Canadian version. It also contains a substance called BHT, a preservative that faces stringent restrictions for food use by the European Union.
I think it's indicative of how much more lax the rules are here in the US. So there are ingredients that may be used in US products that aren't allowed in the EU or in Canada.
While not all additives are inherently bad, experts have long raised concerns about the lack of regulation over harmful additives in America's food supply.
The Food and Drug Administration announced today that it is banning red dye No. 3. That's the synthetic additive that gives certain products their bright cherry red color.
Europe defaults at protecting the population. The U.S. defaults at actually letting ingredients in and kind of allowing the food industry to police itself. We know from prior research that over spans of decades, thousands of ingredients are added to the food supply without the FDA knowing about it. It's impossible to quantify because we don't actually know which ingredients are added.
In 2019, 59.5% of foods bought by American households contained some form of additives, an almost 20% increase from 2001.
Chemicals and additives in the food supply are not as well regulated as they can and should be, and I think as consumers have a right to expect that they are.
So how are companies getting away with adding potentially dangerous additives to America's food supply? And can anything be done to stop it?
Let's pause it right there real quick, folks. Just that intro alone just makes me like, damn, bro. Like, did we ever stand a chance? Red dye No. 3. It's just like, dang, bro. Now, I get it. They spoke about preservatives and shelf life. Like, I get it. There does have to be, some level of, I guess preservatives or whatever you could say in order for foods can have a decent shelf life. Of course, when you go to the grocery store, it wasn't just put there, that morning that you walked in there. Most likely, of course, it's maybe been sitting there. Of course, foods have expiration dates, this and the other. So I get that, yeah, like preservatives to make the food last longer. I get that. But what about all these unnecessary chemicals, sweeteners and dyes and this, that, and the other on the food that you're eating every single day? Again, man, I said your pantry's probably killing you slowly. I would argue, this is just an anecdotal prediction, my own assumption, but I would argue that upwards of 65% of the items in your pantry right now are slowly killing you. That's the situation, man. It's just like, you see that, just that intro alone kind of made me feel some type of way. It's just like, dang, bro. Red dye No. 3. And then why are these things being implemented in U.S. foods but not in the other? Of course, you used to hear narratives of that all the time. Like, when you travel internationally, what are the cases? How foods just taste completely different. It's like the foods here in America are doused and sodium and sugar and salt and this, that, and the other. And you go to another country and you think you're eating the same thing. And it's just like, dang, bro, this drink tastes so much different. Well, yeah, because they're poisoning you guys over there in the United States, and they're not doing that over here. But teach his own. Let's watch a little bit more, get a little bit more insight from this video. Again, of course, the video is from CNBC. It's called How Sketchy Chemicals Like Red No. 3 End Up in U.S. Foods. Let's learn a little bit more.
Not all food additives are bad. Many of them are approved and widely consumed in other parts of the world. The US is a little unique, though, in how our regulatory process works, which has led to a lack of oversight over a lot of these chemicals.
The Food and Drug Administration, or FDA, is responsible for regulating food and health-related products to ensure they're safe for public health. Today, it's estimated to oversee 80% of the US food supply.
So the way that it is supposed to happen, based on the law that Congress passed in 1958, is if you, a company, want to introduce a new food additive into the food supply, you would file a petition with the FDA. And that petition would trigger an FDA investigation of that chemical. FDA scientists would look comprehensively at the safety of that ingredient. There would be a public process where the application would be filed publicly, and other scientists and experts and citizens would have the opportunity to weigh in. And only at the end of that process would you get approval or disapproval from the FDA, determining whether or not that ingredient can be used in products.
Congress, in its wisdom at that time, said, we know there's all these ingredients used in food, like flour or olive oil or pepper or salt. We don't need FDA to review all of these common substances. So they made this exemption to that requirement for additives for substances that are generally recognized as safe.
What we have seen over time is that companies are creating new ingredients, having their own scientists or hiring outside scientists to make their own determinations that an ingredient is safe. And then once they self-declare that their ingredient is safe, they don't have to go through that pre-market process.
Between 2011 and 2020,
Pause it right there. Companies are self-declaring that their product is safe. Oh, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's good. You don't need to go through the normal protocol to make sure it's good. It's good, man. We're implementing this new additive into the food supply. But it's safe. It's safe. It's just the basic salts and oils and this, that, and the other, so they say. To be completely honest, folks, man, I watch things like this, and it's just we're up against a lot. We're up against a lot. That's why I say, man, I say this a lot. To be a contender in this game called life, bro. When you think you have one element of your life under control, boom, another thing you got to worry about. Okay, bet I got that under control, boom, I got to worry about. It's just you got to be on your toes for every aspect of your life. The food that you're eating, the everyday products that you're putting on your body, i.e. your lotions, your shampoos, your deodorants, your toothpaste. It's and then we wonder why, there's a rise in cancer. Oh, this person got sick. Bruh, look what we're being contaminated with is the only word that I can think of. Contamination. I don't know. Legal loopholes is what that category was. Legal loopholes, again, as to one of the reasons why chemicals are being implemented into the U.S. food supply. Yeah, I guess we could watch more, but it's I'm just getting frustrated when you think about it. It's just dang, bro. Now you got to watch the food that you're eating with a side eye. Dang, should I even be eating this? At first, you just used to have to worry about, I don't want to eat too much sugar. I don't want to eat too much salt. I got to watch my sodium levels. I got to watch my cholesterol. Now it's just I don't want to be eating extra additives and chemicals and red dye number 3. And then we wonder why people are sick and Alzheimer's and this, that. It's people will call it conspiracy, man, but your health issues is $1 trillion business. You understand? The pharmaceuticals and the medicine that they're going to serve you after they poisoned you, it's a cycle. So they help you get sick and then they'll sell you the solution. That's why, man, a lot of people will argue and say, of course, this is here in America. Of course, I'm grateful. I always said America has its pros and cons. You'll never hear me trash talk America too badly, I should say. It's just if you go to other countries, man, and you just live a more simpler life, eat simpler things, maybe expands life extension or life expansion, I guess you could say. It's just I'm just getting frustrated watching this. This is from the intro of this video, it kind of made me just blow away dang, bro. Red dye number 3. Now, okay, don't get me wrong. People say, oh, yeah, things got to look appealing and appetizing. That's how you eat it. That's how you, it sells, whatever the case is. But you got to poison me to do it? You see what I'm saying? Do you need to poison us to do it? All these waters I've been drinking, it's just bottled water. Sometimes I'm not going to lie, that first sip of bottled water, you taste the plastic. You may be grown to just get used to it, but it's just even bottled water that comes in the plastic, that first sip, you can taste the remnants of something that's not supposed to be there. You see what I'm saying? And then you just grow used to it after a while. You just think, oh, this is normal. Well, my bottled water always tastes like this. Talking about microplastics in the food and how that's causing problems for both men and women. It's just, dang, bro. If it's not one thing, it's another. When you think you got, oh, okay, worried about my job. Oh, I got to worry about the food now. Okay, bet. Worried about the food now. Oh, I got to worry about, planes falling out of the sky. It's just like, dang, bro. I don't know, folks. That's my thoughts, of course. I didn't want to ramble on this too much longer. Again, a lot of the times I do videos like this, they don't even, I guess the algorithm doesn't necessarily play there. Anytime I do a critical assessment of the food supply, I'm noticing certain things that just don't move. That could be neither here nor there. I'm not saying, any reason in particular, but I don't know, man. Just, I usually do. I see a video, I see a thumbnail. I click this one and it just made me upset. Made me feel like the odds are stacked against us with the food that we're eating every single day. People are saying, oh, just start a healthy diet. I'm trying, bro. But even the food that you think is healthy for you, the organics and the, this, that, and the other, preservatives, at the mere least, there's preservatives in it. At the mere least. What else is there in these organic? If you ain't grow it straight from the tree, if you didn't pick it from the tree, I don't think you're eating organic. Once you purchased it from a grocery store, organic is, you just put it in air quotes. If you purchased it from a grocery store, I don't know. Nonetheless, that's my thoughts, folks. I want to hear yours down in the comment section below. As always, the likes, the comments, the subscribes are all greatly appreciated. I will catch you guys on the next one.